Dave, when you've had a stretch, excluding Sunday, but before that, where you guys seem to be playing pretty well but not getting the results, how relieving is it to kind of turn that around and get the result, and how can you build upon that and make sure that you guys kind of live up to the creation and on your side of the ball, prevention that you've been able to do?
It's huge. It's a huge confidence boost. It gets extremely frustrating when you play really well for a handful of games in a row and you either catch a bad break here or you get a no VAR call. I mean, we had the 3 straight 1v1 or 1-1 games where we had penalties not called or fouls that weren't called and just set piece plays we gave up, and it's tough to defend well for a long stretch of time and just not get shutouts. So it just felt really good to have everything kind of go our way, get a shutout, and just kind of all that frustration kind of just finally get it off our chest, and then we can play each game forward with ever more confidence.
Next, we'll go to Wes Bowling and then Claudio Villalobos. Go ahead, Wes.
You've been such a bedrock defensively for this team now since its inception. What does it mean, though, to also have that impact on the score sheet and get to contribute some goals this year?
Yeah, it's nice. It's always, I mean, that's never what I'm thinking going into a game, but it's always nice to a little cherry on top. It didn't really mean anything in the Dallas game because we were already up 3-0, but it's always fun to score. It's always nice to get on the score sheet, but my job first and foremost is defending, getting a clean sheet, and then just kind of starting the attack. But if we're ever in a tight game and get a goal, then it feels that much better.
Next, we'll go to Claudio Villalobos and then Drake Hills. Go ahead, Claudio.
Dave, taking into account the contribution that Shaq has brought to the team, which is obvious, how much you guys in the middle, like the center backs, have to adjust because of the fact that he might be caught more often than not up there when he's so much his mind so much offensively, but to put it that way, has it been a long work in terms of adjustment to his play?
Not too much. I think the only adjustment has been Gary has been had a little tighter leash on Lovitz going forward, and we kind of almost rotated into a back three again of Lovitz being the left center back if Shaq's getting really high forward, and that's kind of the only adjustment we've had. But he has been adamant of Shaq having more free reign to go forward and start stuff in the attack, and then anytime Lovitz notices that, kind of just be a little bit more cautious on going forward, because Shaq has been so aggressive and he's creating a lot of things down that side, and it's creating a lot of chances for us. So it's just little adjustments like that, but it hasn't been too difficult, I would say.
Next, we go to Drake Hills and Tim Sullivan. Go ahead, Drake.
Yeah, Dave, just looking at the result as it was last weekend, is there something psychologically where you guys are wanting to prove to your guys, to yourselves, that this isn't just a one-time result, that you guys don't want to be seen as, that was like a fluke of any sort, that you guys want to get the momentum and prove that you guys are back into the side?
For sure. I mean, maybe that's somebody who hasn't really been watching our games, like someone if I was just playing for Cincinnati and I was just saying like, oh, Nashville lost, oh, they won 4-0, that was a fluke. But I think if anyone was actually watching our games, and then us personally, knowing how well we were playing and know how many chances we were getting, and then knowing like the soft goals we were giving up, I think we knew internally, look, we're playing well, we're just not getting results. So it was nice to just finally have things go our way. So I don't think it was anything where we need to prove to ourselves like, hey, this wasn't a fluke. We know it wasn't a fluke because we've played really well before and have been, but it's just, it did feel extremely nice to finally have everything go our way. And it's kind of frustrating that it all went our way in one game for 4-0 rather than a bunch of like 2-1s where we're picking up like 3 straight wins, which would have been nice. But regardless, it's really good to have a 4-0 game, and everyone played extremely well. But yeah.
Next, we go to Tim Sullivan and Ben Rye. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, Dave, you asked me the XG of one of your shots before, so I know you pay attention to that sort of stuff. But when you look at the kind of the struggles that you guys had within the past few weeks, when you look at kind of the top line stats and see that it doesn't reflect the score, does that kind of give you encouragement that you're close? Does it frustrate you even more that you are playing really well but not winning? How does that kind of affect your mentality as a team?
I mean, those 2 points you made, I'd say it's probably both of those. I mean, it is reassuring because we know we're not playing well, but then at the same time, it is really frustrating that the way we're playing isn't translating into results. So, I mean, it was just one game, and we know the West is so extremely tight right now. So, and then Vancouver's in a very similar situation to us. So we have to treat all of these like 6-point games where if we drop 3 points to them, that's another 3 points they're getting. And these games are just so important against these Western Conference teams. So Yeah, I think I might have gotten off topic on that one, but yeah.
We'll go to Ben Wright and then Drake Hills. Go ahead, Ben. Almost said Drake Sullivan.
Yeah, Dave, it's almost been like a recurring trope, I guess, in MLS sometimes that teams will kind of just tread water during the summer and then get hot down the stretch. I asked Gary a similar question, but how important is it to not just get these points, which obviously you need, but to kind of keep up this form down the stretch and heading into the playoffs to set yourselves up for success in the postseason?
Yeah, it's super important. I mean, we've seen teams win MLS Cup from almost every position in the playoffs. So if you can get in, then you can. If you're playing hot, you can go on a run and you can win the title. And I think if we finish really well, that'll be a testament to us that we can beat any team in the playoffs. I mean, we finished with Galaxy, Austin twice, and LAFC. So if we get results against those teams, we know going into the playoffs where we're probably going to have to go away to Austin or LAFC eventually, that we couldn't get a result against those teams. So it's just, I think if we are playing really well, we beat them in the regular season now. If we face them really soon in the playoffs, we'll have even that much more confidence to get an away result against them.
Go ahead, Drake.
Yeah, in terms of playing out of the back from your position as a center back in Vancouver, what made it so difficult the first time to break them down directly in a way, and how do you go about doing that again? Can you break down what made it so difficult based off of their shape and whatnot?
Yeah, they have kind of a different shape, and they really pack the middle. They kind of just are baiting you into turnovers in the middle, so we just have to move the ball extremely quick around the back line, either play around them, and then if we're moving the ball quick enough, then maybe we can get some entry passes into the forwards and the 10s and stuff like that, but they try to just compact their defense so much and then bait you to try to play in. So as long as we're just moving the ball extremely quickly, precisely, then I think we have a shot to break them down.
Thank you, Dave. Do we have any more follow-up questions? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all's time.